Did anyone else notice something weird about the characters in the GTA 6 trailer? No, not that one, guys. I thought it looked a little too perfect, and me being a game developer nerd and all, decided to investigate further.
What do you think?
Whoa, very nice.
And I found something so surprising, in fact, that Rockstar knew it would change games as we know it and decided to patent this new technology to keep its juicy details for themselves. Meaning GTA 6 will be their most immersive game, even surpassing Red Dead Redemption.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really.
Looking at the trailer, we can get a sneak peek at the technology they're using that will set them light years ahead of the competition. Do you notice anything in this shot that seems out of place? Except for this woman doing something super dangerous that I do not recommend. How about this scene, where this NPC is asking for money from the people passing by him? With the evidence of the in-game trailer footage and the patent, Rockstar has invented a new way to animate characters and have them be aware of each other. And this results in the AI being smarter as they figure out how to traverse the world given their roles, their personalities, and external stimuli. There are two key components to this system that they've created that will greatly increase the quality of the animations and of the AI. But these are a little bit difficult to understand. So first we must look at the past and how animations and NPCs have worked to understand the future. Now let's go back in time to the era of GTA 5. Let's figure out how animations worked in GTA 5. Almost all of the animations in GTA 5 are first recorded with a mocap or motion capture suit, which is a really stylish suit that has a bunch of little balls on it that reflect light. These balls or markers are placed on the joints of each person, and these help determine where each joint is in space along with the angles between the different joints. And they have these actors in a large and usually very pricey studio, with cameras all around capturing a 360-degree view of the character, and those shoot out infrared lights which bounce off of those little balls or markers, and then they use the software to map that 3D data into a character with their animations. They're also able to clean up the animation in the software if there's anything wrong with the recording. Kind of like editing a video, but you're editing a person's movements. But wait, Sam, that doesn't make any sense. Are you saying they recorded an animation for every possible outcome in the game? How come I can shoot my gun in different directions? Well, you'll notice that almost every animation in any game changes depending on the player input. So how is Rockstar able to dynamically change existing animations depending on the player? Understanding this will be key in understanding how the new system will work. Let's say we have some base animations we recorded with mocap. There's also free ones on the internet, which is great for us. We then slap the animations onto a character and then play them depending on their state. A state can be walking, running, jumping, sliding, dying, and characters can usually have multiple states at the same time, such as running and shooting. These states are usually managed within a structure known as an animation tree, which is a complex but flexible system that allows for blending and transitioning between the animations based on different conditions, such as the player input or maybe something that's happening in the game itself. The system not only keeps track of the current state, but also determines what state it should go into next. So let's recreate a little example here in the Unity game engine. When we press forwards, the player runs, but currently we only have a forwards running animation. What if we need to run sideways or diagonally? Well, we'd need animations for that as well. And that's where you'd go through the time-consuming process of getting a ton of motion capture data for a ton of different animations, so you can have them all at your disposal. But if you switch between them just based on the player input, it'll look really choppy. And that's because there's no blending. And no, I'm not sponsored by them. Modern animation systems can take two different animations and blend them together to make one seamless transition. Well, Sam, what about the shooting? Okay, let's say we want a shooting animation, right? Which in GTA, you definitely need one. But we also want to shoot while we run and we walk. That was a lot of W's. Well, as I mentioned, you can technically have more than one state per character. And you can have two animations on the same character running at the same time. This is called layering, and essentially we can assign different animations to different body parts. So let's say we want the running animation in the lower body part, and we can have the shooting animation in the upper body part. You can even mess around with the weights or how strong an animation will affect the character, so you can actually keep some of the lower body animation and push it up to the upper body so it doesn't just look completely disconnected, the running from the shooting. But that still doesn't explain the gun animations. How is the arm able to move depending on where I'm aiming as a player? It's not like Rockstar has a million animations and everyone is for every different angle, right? And that's where the dynamic part comes in. Rockstar uses procedural animations created during gameplay. This is achieved called math. What? This is achieved with something called inverse kinematics, which is a lot of fancy maths, basically. And it determines what bones and joints need to be bent to achieve a specific position or motion in the character. And this usually takes into account the laws of physics in the world. And any mechanical constraints, such as the fact that you can't bend your elbow downwards. Well, I can. This is also often used for foot placement to make sure that the steps align with the ground, the stairs, or any other surface. And if you're interested in replicating a third-person shooter movement like this one, I have a 2-hour tutorial on my channel teaching you how to do it in Unity. I do assume some prior development experience, but I also have a beginner series if that tickles your fancy. And I have a bundle that contains all the source code to my materials in the link below. Please buy it. Small plug. But anyways, GTA 5 also uses another technique called motion matching, which has been used in games like Red Dead Redemption, Assassin's Creed, all the good ones, you know, where it automatically chooses the animation to play depending on the player velocity, direction, and their environment. Motion matching actually selects the most appropriate animation every frame by frame. And a frame is basically as fast as you can go in a game, like ding! By the time I said that, 60 frames probably passed. And this makes it look like the character is actually moving in a more realistic and fluid manner. The issue with this is that in a complex game like GTA, each character needs hundreds of animations. You need an animation for walking, you need an animation for walking on the pavement, you need an animation for walking in the snow, you need an animation for walking while injured or fatigued, while walking fatigued in the snow. And not only does this take a lot of processing power, but a lot of in-game memory resources, which puts a cap on how many things Rockstar can add to the game. So Rockstar and their smart little brains over there proposed a new animation system to overcome these issues. The new system plays off of the idea of motion matching, and this results in needing far less animation data per character, while also exponentially increasing the amount of animations a character can do. And they decided to patent this system, which is how good it is. There's 2 key components to the system, and the first one is a shift to a data-driven animation system versus using the usual animation trees. Essentially, now instead of having dozens of complex animation trees per character, GTA will define certain motion types and motions per character. A motion type is essentially a style. For example, sick, injured, normal, swag. That's definitely my style. And the motion would be the actual animation, like running and walking. So to give an example, let's say the main character, Lucia, would have a list of motions. And depending on her current state, how she's feeling, if she's sick, if she's injured, if she's drunk, her environment, and also the player input via a controller or a keyboard or whatnot, the system will automatically choose the next animation, taking into account all of these factors. Here's an example of how that system would look on the back end. You'll see that this motion is comprised of multiple actions. So we have combat animation, we have a crouched upper, we're walking under fire, and so all of these animations are played at the same time on the same character in different parts of the body. So they take the animations they already have and piece them together to create thousands of variations. And the way they design this system is super smart. Each character profile has what they call their own blackboard. So Lucia has a blackboard that keeps track of her state, the weather, the temperature, her location, everything in the game. It's almost like a personal AI home assistant or something. And that blackboard communicates with the game code to get all of this information, and then relays it to the animation system, which then results in the system choosing the correct motion and style of animation to play. This also means that the game code is separate from the animation system, which, if you're not a game development nerd, basically means that it's very extendable and you can add on to it very easily without changing a lot of the game code. The system also supports layering, so you can layer different animations to different body parts, and it will automatically choose the weights of how much each animation should affect that specific body part of that character. It will also support synchronization between the different joints. So let's say the upper body is shooting and pointing to the right while the lower body is running. It will actually rotate the lower body and its joints towards the direction of the upper body so it looks more realistic. And something I found really cool was that you can actually inherit the motions of other characters. They have the system in place where essentially if you have a cowboy, the cowboy inherits from a male profile and the male inherits from the human, and each of them have their own set of animations that the cowboy could use. So if the cowboy doesn't have a specific movement animation, he can just take that from the male profile or the human profile. They also have a way to control the rate of which these animations are playing at. So you can increase the speed, you can blend between the different animations faster, slower, and these are configurable per joint or per body part, which is insane. And this all takes into account the speed, the acceleration, and the physics of the characters. And they've designed it so they can easily write or add on to the system using almost plain English or XML, extensible markup language, which is basically English if it's not code. And once they've written it in basically English, the code will read that information and then transfer it to a character profile in the game. And the system adapts on the fly to each character's situation and pieces together different animations to form realistic results. Oh my god. It's so cool. And I imagine the different characters in the game will be able to communicate with each other. So one character will know what's near them, what their state is, and how they will react. If we go back to the trailer, you can see that in the first scene, the NPC and the character behind this very dangerous act is recording the woman. So he is aware of the actions of that other NPC. And in the next scene, the character is actively looking at people that walk past him and asking them for money. And that was the first piece of the puzzle, a system that chooses which animations to play depending on the character's state and all of the characters around it and the environment. The second piece is how they piece together the different animations from the different characters. How exactly did they do this? Because it literally sounds impossible, right? Well, it's basically almost impossible. They seem to have trained it on their own machine learning algorithm, which is the easiest and most effective way to do that sort of stuff. Give it some inputs, some labeled examples, train the algorithm with some fancy equations, and then the system will be able to figure out what animation sequences fit in any circumstance. Now, I'm making it sound easy, but it does take a lot of time to prepare the data, to configure the machine learning algorithm, and to make sure everything's fine. But because of this new technology, the new animation system vastly reduces code complexity and in-game memory usage. It'll probably still require a good amount of processing power because there'll be hundreds of NPCs and each of them are reacting to their environment and aware of their own state. But instead of going back and forth on a predetermined path, like in previous GTA games, which is what NPCs normally do, they'll now have lives. Like Sims, this is literally rated R Sims. This will increase the amount of weird things that happen in the game because now the possibilities are way higher than in any other game for weird stuff to happen. Weird stuff. I don't know what you're thinking about. I'm keen on seeing though how big the map will be and how many online players it'll be able to support using this system. And this doesn't even cover ragdolls. GTA 4 actually used a Euphoria ragdoll system, which introduced realistic ragdolls depending on the impact to the character. But they did have to remove it in GTA 5 due to the resources it consumed and the very large map that the game had. So I'm also curious to see how this system plays with ragdolls. It's going to be very interesting. It does suck that they have a patent on the system though, so no other games will be able to use this technology except their own games. And I'm not really a fan of patented game mechanics anyways, because I don't feel like softwares should be patented. And these new discoveries would help the game industry as a whole. But I understand why a company that worked very hard on something might not just want everyone using their system. I have absolutely no doubts though that the new animation and AI system will be game changing. And I feel like this is the most metaverse thing to come out in the last 5 years, actually. And with an active modding community, I'm sure there'll be a lot of unique experiences that can only happen in GTA. But animation isn't the only thing which makes a game feel complete. Sound is also one of the most important quality of life details a game can have. In this video, I explain how an indie game made over 25 million in revenue, beating Modern Warfare 3 sales by mastering the concept of sound. Click it, subscribe, and thanks for watching. Can I go now? Is my job here done? Ah!